November 6th, 2007, 9:14 a.m., Frankfurt International Airport. Gate B42. A man in a charcoal overcoat moves quickly through the terminal. He's carrying a laptop bag, no checked luggage. He doesn't stop at the coffee stand. He doesn't look at the departure board. He already knows exactly where he's going. His name is Bradley Birkenfeld. And inside that laptop bag is something that could bring down one of the most powerful financial institutions on the planet. He boards a flight to Washington, D.C. What happens next will trigger the largest tax evasion crackdown in American history. It will expose the secret accounts of 47,000 of the world's wealthiest people. Billionaires, royalty, dictators, arms dealers. It will cost UBS, Switzerland's biggest bank, a fine of $780 million. And it will land Bradley Birkenfeld in federal prison. He was the man who broke the Swiss bank. And almost nobody knows his name.
To understand how this happened, you need to understand Switzerland. For centuries, Swiss banking has operated on one single sacred principle: secrecy. It's not just tradition, it's law. In Switzerland, leaking a client's bank details is a criminal offense, punishable by prison, not a fine, prison. This is by design. After the chaos of World War I, wealthy Europeans needed somewhere safe to park their money, somewhere governments couldn't see, somewhere wars couldn't reach. Switzerland, small, neutral, landlocked, and surrounded by larger powers, became that place. By the mid-20th century, the Swiss banking system had built something almost elegant in its architecture of concealment. Numbered accounts, nominee directors, shell companies registered in Liechtenstein or Panama. Layers of legal fog so thick that even if a foreign government suspected a citizen was hiding money in Switzerland, they had almost no legal mechanism to find out. And sitting at the center of all this for nearly 150 years was one institution: UBS, Union Bank of Switzerland. By 2000, UBS was managing over $2 trillion in client assets. It had offices in 50 countries. Its private banking division, the one that handled the ultra-wealthy, was considered the gold standard. Discreet, professional, impenetrable. This is the system Bradley Birkenfeld was about to walk into.
1998, Geneva. Bradley Birkenfeld is 33 years old. He's American, born in Boston, educated at Norwich University, and he speaks 3 languages. He's sharp, ambitious, and he knows how money works. He joins UBS's private banking arm. His job, in simple terms, is to find rich Americans and convince them to move their money to Switzerland. He's given a quota, he's given a company credit card, he's given a list of high net worth targets and flown first class to find them. He's very good at it. Over the next several years, Birkenfeld builds a portfolio of some of the wealthiest American clients UBS has ever had. He attends yacht shows in Monaco, art fairs in New York. He plays golf in Palm Beach. He's not just a banker, he's a lifestyle salesman, and the product is invisibility. Here is what he tells his clients: move your money to a numbered Swiss account. We will handle everything. No reporting requirements, no paper trail that connects to you. The Swiss government will not cooperate with the IRS. Your money is, for all legal purposes, gone. And here's what he does not tell them. Under US law, American citizens must report all foreign bank accounts worth over $10,000. Failing to do so is a federal crime. Birkenfeld knows this. His supervisors know this. UBS's legal team knows this. They do it anyway. But this is where things get interesting.
By 2005, something is changing inside UBS. The American government is getting aggressive. The IRS is launching new investigations into offshore tax evasion. The Department of Justice is circling. A few smaller Swiss banks have already been approached. UBS starts to get nervous. In internal meetings, senior managers begin using a new phrase: cross-border risk. This is corporate language for, we might be breaking American law, and we're starting to think someone might notice. Quietly, UBS begins instructing its American banking team to pull back, stop soliciting new American clients.
reduce exposure, start encouraging existing clients to move their accounts. Birkenfeld is frustrated. He's built his entire career on this business, and now he's being told to walk away from it? He starts asking questions internally. He wants to know what the bank's legal position actually is. He requests documentation. He wants clarity. He doesn't get it. What he gets instead, in the spring of 2007, is a meeting with a senior compliance officer who tells him, essentially, to stop asking questions. That is the moment Birkenfeld makes his decision. He contacts a lawyer in Washington, D.C. He doesn't go to the press. He doesn't go to a foreign regulator. He goes directly to the U.S. Department of Justice, and he offers them everything.
What Birkenfeld hands over to investigators is extraordinary. Not rumors, not suspicions, not second-hand accounts. Internal UBS documents. Training manuals that describe exactly how UBS bankers were instructed to help American clients evade taxes. Scripts for phone calls, how to speak carefully so nothing incriminating was ever said directly. Methods for smuggling cash and diamonds across borders inside toothpaste tubes and food tins. And names. 47,000 names. American citizens with secret Swiss accounts. Some holding millions, some holding hundreds of millions. A real estate developer in California with $200 million hidden offshore. A tech executive. A doctor in Florida. An heir to a household brand name. The DOJ has never seen anything like this. For decades, the IRS had suspected that wealthy Americans were hiding money in Switzerland. But they had no mechanism to prove it. The Swiss government wouldn't cooperate. Swiss law forbade disclosure. UBS itself was legally protected. Birkenfeld had just handed them the key. But here's the part that nobody talks about. Birkenfeld himself had a client, a billionaire real estate developer named Igor Olenikov, whose account he had actively helped conceal. He had helped Olenikov smuggle diamonds into the United States. He had helped him lie on his tax returns. When the DOJ realizes this, the dynamic shifts. Birkenfeld is no longer just a witness, he's also a suspect.
The DOJ is in a strange position. The man handing them the biggest offshore tax evasion case in American history is himself a participant in offshore tax evasion. Birkenfeld's lawyers try to negotiate immunity. He's cooperating. He's providing everything. He expects protection. He doesn't get it. In 2008, while UBS is still under investigation, while the US government is still using Birkenfeld's documents as the foundation of their entire case, Birkenfeld is indicted. One count of conspiracy to defraud the United States. He pleads guilty. And on August 21st, 2009, Bradley Birkenfeld is sentenced to 40 months in federal prison. The same year, UBS signs a deferred prosecution agreement. It pays a fine of $780 million, an enormous number, but a fraction of the revenue it had generated from illegal accounts. No UBS executive goes to prison. The bank continues to operate. Birkenfeld will later say, "I handed them a nuclear weapon, and they used it against me." He's not entirely wrong.
But this is where the story takes a turn nobody expected. While Birkenfeld sits in federal prison at the minimum security facility in Minersville, Pennsylvania, his lawyers file a formal whistleblower claim under the IRS whistleblower program. This program, updated in 2006, allows individuals who provide information leading to the recovery of unpaid taxes to receive between 15 and 30% of what the government collects. Birkenfeld's information leads to the recovery of an estimated $15 billion in back taxes, fines, and penalties from American clients with hidden Swiss accounts. The calculation is not complicated. In September 2012, 4 months after his release from prison, Bradley Birkenfeld receives a check from the Internal Revenue Service. $104 million. The single largest whistleblower award in IRS history. He buys a Porsche. He buys property in Monaco. He writes a book. He goes on television. But he has never stopped saying one thing. He was not the only one who knew. The people above him at UBS knew. The compliance officers knew. The legal team knew. senior management in Zurich knew, and not one of them has ever been charged with a crime. The DOJ used his information to extract a fine from the bank, but the bank, as an institution, was protected. Its executives, as individuals, were protected. The system adapted, it paid, and it moved on.
Here is what changed. The UBS settlement cracked open the Swiss banking system in a way that 150 years of international pressure had failed to do. Switzerland, under enormous diplomatic strain from the United States, agreed to share banking information in cases of suspected tax fraud, a concession that would have been unthinkable 5 years earlier. FATCA, the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, passed in 2010. It requires foreign banks to report American account holders to the IRS or face crushing penalties. It is now the global standard. 47,000 account names were eventually obtained by the DOJ. Of those, roughly 15,000 Americans came forward voluntarily under amnesty programs, paying back taxes and penalties to avoid prosecution. The offshore tax evasion industry did not disappear. It adapted. Money moved to Singapore, to the Cayman Islands, to new jurisdictions with newer layers of legal protection. But the Swiss banking secret, that centuries-old covenant of silence, was broken. And it was broken by one man in an airport terminal carrying a laptop bag.
Bradley Birkenfeld served 31 months in prison. He is now worth over $100 million. Igor Olenikov, his client, the billionaire he helped conceal, paid a fine. He did not go to prison. No UBS executive went to prison. The Swiss government paid symbolic reparations and rewrote some laws. The fine UBS paid, $780 million, was settled in a single quarter. The bank reported a profit of over $7 billion that same year. Whether Birkenfeld is a hero or a criminal depends on who you ask. He broke the law. He helped wealthy men hide money from their own governments. He was complicit in a system of institutional deception that cost ordinary taxpayers billions of dollars a year. And then he dismantled it. The system made one fatal mistake. It trusted a man it had no reason to trust. A man who was watching. A man who was keeping records. A man who, eventually, decided that the most valuable thing in that laptop bag wasn't the documents. It was the truth.